Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Entrepreneur Showcase Series brought to you by Patranya Media LLC and Parkway Media Partners. I'm your host, Patranya Poonswan, and in the studio with me today is a very special guest, Dr. Patrick Nuzzo. He is the co-founder and president of Southwest University of Naturopathic Medicine, based in New Mexico. Thank you so much for joining us here in Las Vegas today.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. We're really excited to be here in Nevada and have the opportunity to bring naturopathic medicine to Nevada.
And this is something very new for a lot of people here, because this is the first time that it's going to be operating here, because you just helped pass a law here in Nevada.
Correct.
So we're going to talk about that. We have video with the governor as well. But first, tell people about this. Naturopathic medicine, if they've never heard of that before, tell us what the gist of this is all
I'd be surprised if they have heard about it, because it is a 126-year-old profession. And actually, it started right alongside chiropractic medicine. The founders were actually together. D.D. Palmer, who started chiropractic medicine, brought Oakley Smith in, who started naturopathic medicine back in 1906 as they were collaborating and just formulating chiropractic medicine. As a matter of fact, Oakley Smith wrote the book, Modernized Chiropractic, that the entire chiropractic profession was built on. Right. So the professions have a very, very strong alignment in philosophies, in education, but where they fell apart and what makes us different is the way naturopaths and chiropractors treat, okay? Naturopaths are classified as connective tissue specialists, right? Connective tissue is three things. It's ligaments, which hold bone to bone. Right. It's tendons, which hold muscle to bone. But the most prevalent connective tissue out there is called fascia, or interstitial tissue.
I think I've heard of that.
Fascia, right. Fascia runs throughout the body. It covers every muscle, it covers every organ, it covers every bone. And in its natural state, it's viscous and gooey, right? So there's a layer of muscle, there's a layer of fascia. There's a layer of muscle, there's a layer of fascia. As you turn your head, as you move your shoulder, those muscles should glide over that gooey fascia.
That's the normal.
That's the norm, right? Stress, dehydration, repetitive motion, sleeping patterns, exercise patterns, all tend to dry that fascia out. Injuries tend to dry that fascia out.
And aging, does that?
Aging tends to dry that fascia out. So when the fascia dries, it loses its lubricating ability, right? And it starts to dry. And when it dries, it glues layer to layer of muscle. So when you're turning your head or moving your shoulder, those muscles aren't gliding, they're acting like fulcrums, and they're pulling bony structure out of alignment, right? Because remember, fascia covers everything, covers the bones, covers the muscles, but it also turns into the ligaments that hold bone to bone together. So naturopaths, instead of doing adjustments on the bony structure to bring bony alignment like a chiropractor would, we find the tension in the connective tissue and release that tension and bring bony alignment that way.
So how common is it that people are dealing with something like this?
Everybody.
At all ages?
At all, even children,
Wow.
Birth, coming through. I mean, I've had two children. I treated them, immediately after birth, because it's, you kind of torque and it's a fight down the tunnel. And do people
know that, a lot of people may not know that they're dealing with it.
People don't know, but if you look at how many prescription medications people are taking and how many over-the-counter pain medications people are taking, their body knows it. Right. They're just masking it with medication instead of going to the root cause. Right. And that's what naturopathic medicine does. It goes to the root cause. Naturopathic medicine, Oakley Smith was a genius. An absolute genius. He was probably autistic, right? He was socially inept though, right? He couldn't get along with the soul. Yeah. So this profession has gone on 126 years, and it was just primarily in Illinois. And that's where I went to school. I graduated 40 years ago. I've been a naturopath for 40 years. I'll tell you that story in a bit, how I got there. The profession, really has not grown until I, 20 years ago, moved to New Mexico. And I actually went to New Mexico to start a retreat center. And I was treating adult survivors of childhood trauma in my practice as a naturopath back in Illinois. Yeah. And when I came to New Mexico, I would come every other week and treat patients one week, bring a group the following week when I was there. And the weeks I would see patients, I would take calls, whatever. And one afternoon, I got a phone call from a gentleman who told me that he broke his neck in a car accident. And he heard I could help him. He's been everywhere, right? So I treated this man, and I got him to, get off of his medication, get range of motion, feel like he got his life back. And he convinced me to get the license passed in New Mexico, which I never had even thought about doing. But 20 years ago, we got the Naturopathic Practice Act.
And that was 20 years ago in New Mexico.
In New Mexico.
Got it.
So when I got the bill signed into law, Governor Richardson signed it into law, they made me promise they would bring a school to New Mexico. And I was dumb enough to tell them I would do it. So that was back in 2004. 2006, I got a license to open the school. It took me 4 years to put a curriculum together.
Wow.
And then my partner, Dr. LaVista, and I decided that if we're going to do this, we've got to get this school accredited. Because there's never been a naturopathic school accredited. And that was one of the other reasons that this school never really grew. So we put in a petition after we graduated our first class in 2014. We opened the school in 2010. We graduated our first class in 2014. In 2015, we petitioned to get accreditation for the school. And it took us 6 years. So in August of 2021, 2 years ago, we got the first school of naturopathic medicine ever accredited.
And this is Southwest University.
Southwest University of Naturopathic Medicine. We've graduated 50 naturopaths. They're all in New Mexico right now. And then in January of this year, we introduced the Naturopathic Practice Act to the Nevada legislature.
And there's this AB 153.
AB 153 is the bill.
And we had this video, while you're talking about this, and I think we're going to play this in the background because this was when you introduced it to the legislature.
Well, this is actually the signing of the bill. We already got the bill through.
Got it.
And then we went to the governor's office for a
and tell us about that day. I mean, this was a long time coming.
Yeah, this was what a great day. I mean, what a great day for the citizens of Nevada. What a great day for naturopaths. What a great day for healthcare, because now Nevadans will have a choice, a drug-free choice to treat their neuromusculoskeletal pain without pharmaceuticals.
Were you expecting this to be a difficult journey here in Nevada?
Well,
before this actually happened?
I picked Nevada because I thought it was going to be we had a good chance at getting it through. Because Nevada, like all other states, are having a healthcare shortage, right?
We needed this.
We needed this.
Yeah.
And
the governor obviously supported this.
The governor supported it.
Yeah.
We had an amazing lobby team. We work with the Carrera Group here in Nevada, and they did a wonderful job for us.
Yeah.
And we got the bill through in one session. It took me 4 sessions to get it through in New Mexico. I didn't have a school at the time. I didn't have an accredited school at the time.
So you felt, but what you did in New Mexico aided in making this happen in Nevada.
100%, because I learned how to legislate. I learned the process.
Right.
And, now we're going to move this profession forward in other states. And as we bring
So is this
school,
like you're thinking like this is just the start?
This
and
is
you're
just
going
the
to be
start
moving
for
to
us.
other
Yeah, this
states
is just
as
the start for us.
Yeah.
I mean, and with the success we've had here in one session, I think we're going to really be able to, bring this profession forward and bring this medicine forward so people will really benefit. How
exciting is this? And for people listening and they're, oh my gosh, I think I may need help. But right now, in order to be your patient, they still do need to go to New Mexico.
New Mexico or Illinois.
Or Illinois, yes.
Illinois.
But New Mexico is a little closer, right?
Mexico
so
is
do you
a lot
have
closer.
patients coming in from all over the country?
I do have patients flying in from all over the country.
Yeah.
I still have patients that fly in. I practiced in Illinois for 20 years before I moved to New Mexico. And monthly, I still have patients coming in. And
so is this a lifelong treatment? Where they come, or can they do this and they get treated? How does it work?
Well, it depends upon how active people are. It is a lifelong treatment, right? If you choose to use manual therapy to treat your pain versus pharmaceuticals, right? Because that's what you could do. So we get people who are very active, who utilize it, but, what we do is normally if somebody comes into the office, I'd like to see them 3 times. once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending upon, how the situation is, what kind of symptoms they're bringing in.
Yeah.
And you normally can bring great relief to somebody after the first session, but it doesn't hold because people have those patterns. They have the muscle memory and they're still doing the same things over and over and over. A lot of the people we see have repetitive motion injuries. And repetitive motion is sitting at the computer all day long, right? Yeah. And you sit at that computer all day long and you're hunched up and you're in that space. Even when you walk away, the muscles are still holding, So you got to get in there and break those patterns. And see, I was going to say this, naturopathic medicine is the first manual therapy that has scientific validity behind it. Oakley Smith, I told you, he was absolute genius, but he was socially inept, just couldn't get along with a soul. But he developed something called chartology and chardosis, and it's the mapping and marking of the spine. So we train our doctors to take findings, both tension findings and pain findings along the spine. And based on those findings, we then design a treatment. We find if those vertebrae are anterior, posterior, to the left, to the right. And you could do this all by taking findings and doing this marking system. And our focus and our mission is really to prove the science of manual therapy and bring it out there. So it's not just anecdotal. We want medicine to come to us. It's like, guys, everybody's short of doctors, right? Yeah. Do you know what the number 2 and 3 reason people go to medical doctors' offices is? It's joint pain and back pain. The number 2 and 3 reason, okay? Wow. Nothing against medicine, okay? But they're not equipped to treat joint and back pain, right? What do? They write prescriptions, right? Yeah. And we have hundreds of thousands of people who have died over the years on opioid overdoses, right? Yeah. And they get these prescriptions. I get kids coming into my office for sprained ankles. I mean, not anymore because it's tamped down, but 4, 5, 6 years ago, they'd come in with a sprained ankle with a prescription for opioids. Wow. And then that prescription runs out. These kids get hooked on it and they're off to heroin, and it's just been a horrible experience for this country. And, we're seeing these pharma companies are having to pay out billions of dollars to the states now. Yeah. And, we need to show there are other ways of treating pain besides pain pills,
And that's what's so great is that now you're expanding and educating people all over the country. And here in Nevada, now that napropaths, are able to practice and can be licensed to work here in Nevada. And that was signed to law back in June. And now the path is you're hoping to open a school.
We are
here.
Our plans are to branch Southwest University in naturopathic medicine here in Nevada. We're going to be, hopefully, if things work out in 2024, we'll be able to enroll our first class.
That's great.
And, we're just really looking to provide services here for, the locals. And, we also are here, I mentioned to you, we offer our program 2 different ways, okay? We offer our program to people who have a passion for healthcare, who have a bachelor's degree, right, with some sort of healthcare background. Yeah. And then they can go through our program in 3 years, straight through.
With Southwest University.
At Southwest University, or when we bring it at Southwest University Naturopathic Medicine Nevada campus, or Henderson campus is where we're looking at. Yeah. But they can go through the program in 3 years, but 80% of the program is online. Oh, wow. They have to come into the school 1 day a week and do either 1, 2, or 3 classes, depending upon the quarter that it is, of the hands-on. And then they have to do a 1-year internship in a school intern clinic. So it's a 3-year program that you have to go through. There's a big science component and there's a research component. You have to present a naturopathic research project in order to graduate. And, it's just a really wonderful art that people, nurses, massage therapists, people who've had interest, physical therapists. A lot of physical therapists are coming to us because we are teaching them the specialty of connective tissue manipulation and spinal manipulation, right? And it's just a wonderful way to add that to your practice. And that's the other way we offer the program. It's an 18-month program to people who already have a license, like a physical therapist, like a chiropractor.
Right.
They could use half of the credits that they've already taken.
Oh, wow.
We can take those in, transfer those in, and then we teach them 90% online with 4 immersive weekends over that 18-month period. And they can get their doctor in naturopathic medicine as a connective tissue specialist.
And now, hopefully, the goal is to get those people to be certified and get the degree.
Correct.
And be able to work here in Nevada.
In Nevada,
Yeah.
and we're going to be opening those 18-month schedules first because we want to get people treating, but we also have to build a faculty here. So faculty, you could build a great faculty out of somebody who's already has a license with physical therapist or a chiropractor. And we have many chiropractors that have come through our program and teach for us. And, it's just a wonderful experience.
How did you get into it? I mean, and you have a very varied background. When you were gymnast at one point,
No,
right?
I was an athlete. But
Okay.
I wasn't a
What was
gymnast.
your background going into and what got you interested?
Well, I've been a naturopath now for 40 years, but I've been a naturopath all my life because my uncle was a naturopath. So I grew up around it.
So it's in the family.
So as a child, I was blessed because the only doctor I knew as a kid was my uncle. If I didn't feel good, if I didn't, my stomach was hurt and I had a headache, I would go to my uncle. My uncle would give me treatments and he'd give me herbs. He'd tell me what to eat. He'd tell me what not to eat. Naturopathic medicine is anti-inflammatory medicine, right? We increase circulation, decrease inflammation. Yeah. You do that manually and you do that metabolically as well. So we also train, eating properly and, great eating habits. And, what we do is we don't look at a diet per se. What we do is look at quality of foods. Yeah. Food is medicine, right? Yeah. You have to eat food that's grown in organically grown, restored, regenerative soils that has nutrients in it that can give it to you, right?
It affects your body directly.
Well, there's no question about it. I'm going to be 70 years old this year, okay? And I've never been on a prescription medication in my life, okay? And I don't ever plan on taking one because food is medicine, right?
Yeah.
If you eat properly, if you take care of yourself, your body will function, right?
Yeah.
You just have to give it the ability to do so.
And what I love about it is you're sharing this information not through the university. You also have a couple of books out there, including one that you have with you.
I do.
And people can learn about this and educate themselves even before coming into the school.
Yeah.
Right? So you have that book with you.
And the book is anti-inflammatory medicine.
Yeah.
And it's naturopathy and nutrition, for healthy regenerative lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it talks about both. It talks about, using manual medicine instead of pharmaceuticals. It talks about how important diet and nutrition is. Food is medicine. You've got to be able to take that seriously.
So talk to me about some of the things that we can learn from reading the book and when it comes to nutrition. What are some of the things that people can do today to really improve them,
Well, I think going to the food source, right? You've got to really start buying food that is sourced from regenerative, restorative farmers. Yeah. Meats, vegetables, fruits. There's farmers out there and ranchers out there that are devoting their lives to the soil. Yeah. And if you can restore the soil, not only are you making the individual healthy, you're making the soil healthy. Yeah. And the soil can capture the carbon, right? Yeah. So we can live a lifestyle that by, do you ever watch Shark Tank?
Yes.
All right.
Love
Shark
that
Tank
show.
is always, let's give back, right?
Right.
How about living a lifestyle that you support farmers and ranchers that are restoring the soil, that are helping regenerate the soil and helping, capture carbon. If you restore the soil, you restore the planet. We can do something about climate change just by changing our diets and being conscious about it. Yeah. And that's what's in the book, right? Yeah. And we talk a lot about that in the book and where the resources are and why we should be doing that, not only to make ourselves healthy, but let's make the planet healthy. Let's leave an imprint out there. I mean, look at this summer. I mean, have you seen heat like this? I mean, New Mexico, it's very unusual, Santa Fe, to get in the 90s. We've had 90s for weeks and months on end, and even
it's
hit
like the
100
hottest year ever, right? On
all
record.
Over the country, all over the country. And we've got to do something about it because we're struggling, right? The stress levels because of the heat we're struggling. So you got to get some nutrition in this body to help work against it.
And I love just the philosophy and everything behind it. And if people want to learn more, I mean, obviously you have your book out there, Dr. Patrick Nuzzo, and you can look at Amazon, right?
Yeah,
People
Amazon's got it. Yep.
Look under your name. And also, if they want to talk to you more about this and learn more about how you can help, what's the best way that people can contact you?
Well, you get on the website, take a look at the website, because sunm.edu is our website.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of informational videos up there about what a naturopathic treatment looks like.
Yeah.
What would you use it for? So get on there, take a look. And then if you have questions past that, you call the office, and we've got great staff there and really educated staff there. I've got 9 naturopaths that work for us in our clinics there.
That's great.
We've got interns in the clinic. So interns intern in the clinics that naturopaths are overseeing. So we've got a really nice little healthcare system going over there that we're going to have here in the not too distant future.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it's such good news. And just for people who care about their health and want to make sure that they're educated as much as possible, I think this is a great way of what you're bringing to Nevada. So thank you so much for all the great work that you've done and for bringing this to the state of Nevada. Again, give me your website. Where can people go again?
Yeah, it's www.sunm.edu. That's the website, right? And then you can find the book, Anti-Inflammatory Medicine, on Amazon. And, if you have any questions, give the office a call.
I'm sure I'm going to be seeing you a lot more in Nevada, right? Until we open the school in Henderson. That's the goal.
In the next few months, I'll be here a lot.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Patrick Nuzzo, he's the co-founder and president of Southwest University of Naturopathic Medicine of New Mexico, and hopefully soon of Henderson, Nevada.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nuzzo,
I really
for joining
appreciate
us.
the opportunity.
So great to see you. And thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of Entrepreneur Showcase Series. We'll see you again next time.